Rashidilek and welcome to the second session of Geography chapter Manufacturing Industries. In this class, I'm going to take one topic, that is types of industries. As we already know that we use variety of goods which are made by industries. But do you know from which industry these particular goods are made from? No, just take the example of this. Hand sanitizer. This hand sanitizer has become very important nowadays, and we use this sanitizer on a regular basis to prevent or to fight against COVID-19. But do you know from which industry these hand sanitizer are made from? No, right? Okay, so learning about types of industry will help you to understand from which industry the particular goods are made from. So coming to the main point, industries are classified into different groups on the basis of different things. But today in this class, we are going to discuss three. And these three are industries are classified on the basis of size of production, on the basis of weight of raw material, on the basis of their role. So first one is, on the basis of size of production, industries are classified into large-scale industry, small-scale industry, and cottage industry. So large-scale industry. Large-scale industries are those industries in which production takes place in a very large number. At the same time, they also employ or they also hire a large number of labor or worker in the factory. And the industry owners spend huge amount of money for the production. And most of the large-scale industry are owned by the government, but there are some large-scale industry owned by the private as well. So some of the examples of large-scale industry in our country are textile industry, which include cotton and jute industry, and then we have iron and steel industry, and then we have sugar industry. All these industry comes under the large-scale industry because production are done in a very large number, and there are large number of workers working in this industry, and huge amount of monies are spent for the production. And second one is small-scale industry. Small-scale industries are those industries in which production takes place in a less quantity as compared to the large-scale industry. Here, the industry owner spent less money for the production, that is less than 1 crore rupees. If the industry owners spend more than 1 crore rupees, then it comes under the large-scale industries. In small-scale industry, there is an involvement of less labor, since production does not take place in a large quantity. And small-scale industries are run by individuals or privates. So some of the examples of small-scale industry in India are candle making, sanitary napkin industry, and then we have paper bags industry. All these industry comes under the small-scale industry because of less worker, because of less production, and because of less investment. And the last one is cottage industries. Cottage industries are those industries in which the productions are not done in a specific place. Productions are done at home itself. So these productions are carried out by the artisans. So artisans are those skillful people who produce the goods with their hands. They don't use any advanced technology, and they use very simple tools, and they usually work with woods. So in this, they don't hire any labor or worker. Their family members work in these activities. So example of cottage industries are basket weaving, carpet making, and pottery. All these activities comes under the cottage industry because these productions are take place at the home itself. Okay, coming to the next one, that is on the basis of their main role. So industry is further classified into two, that is basic industry or consumer industries. Basic industry. Basic industry are those industry which produce their own product, and this product is supplied to the other industry. and other industry using this product, they make another goods. So this is called basic industry. So basic industry produce a product not for the buyer. They produce a goods for the other industries. So basic industry is more like a mother. Mother feeds the baby. Just like this, basic industries feeds the other industry by supplying their product. And by using this product, other industry produce other goods. Okay, so example of a basic industry are copper industry and iron and steel industry. Copper industry produce a copper and these products are supplied to the other industry, and other industry using this copper, they make electrical wire and some other finished goods. Just like this, iron and steel industry, they produce a iron and steel. And these iron and steel are supplied to the other industry, and other industry using this iron and steel, they produce other goods. So, consumer industry. Consumer industries are those industries in which products are produced mainly for the consumer, for the direct use by the consumer. So these products are directly made available to the consumer. Consumer means buyers. So example of a buyer consumer industries are toothpaste industry, we have sugar industry, we have fan industry. So these industry, they produce a product and these products are directly available to us. Okay. On the basis of weight of raw material and finished goods, further industry is divided into heavy industry and light industries. So, heavy industries. Heavy industries are those industries in which they use a very heavy and bulky. Bulky means large raw material. They use a very heavy and large raw material, and then at the end they produce a bulky and heavy finished goods. And these products are not for the direct use for the consumer. These products are business oriented. Business oriented means these are for the business purpose. Since heavy industry use a very bulky raw material, because of that there is a more environmental impact or more environmental effect. Dinang business oriented lana kala kunzu heavy industry gi chala sugesh toa di ya ngarang su consumer sangmachidula directly use chejudu mare kunzu gi business chik setup chejudu yang business chemba chik setup chejudu kunzu gi chala sugor. So example of heavy industries are shipbuilding industry, chemical industry, metal industry. So under these industry produce a product. This is for the business purpose. These are not made directly for the consumer. And then light industry. Light industries are those industries in which they use a light raw material or they use a less raw materials. And at the end, they produce a light and smaller product. And these products are consumer oriented. Consumer means these are for the buyer only. Since light industry use a small amount of raw material, there is a less environmental impact or effect. So example of light industries are food industry, household electrical appliance, and then we have wood industries. These comes under the light industry because here the industry use a very light and less amount of raw materials. Okay. So this is for the homework. I have come up with a few industry lists, and now you are going to identify which are these large industries or small scale industries or cottage industries. I'll give you one example. So number one is sugar. So sugar comes under which industries? Of course, it comes under the large industry because production is done in a very large number. Just like this, you have to find out about the other industry. Okay. Then the next one is, okay, we have already discussed about the types of industry on the basis of weight of the raw material and the finished goods, right? Now, you are going to classify all these industry into two groups. So you have to find out whether the shipbuilding comes under the heavy industry or it comes under the light industry. So this is for the homework 2. Okay, I hope you have understood whatever we have discussed in the class today, and this is for the today's class, and the remaining types of industry will be discussed in the next classes. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.